Shively police cuffed one of their own officers a day after an audit of the department's flock data flagged something suspicious. Tonight, we're digging into how secure the technology designed to protect communities like ours is. Shively PD's audit highlights 2,000 searches that Officer Asad Zahir made on 2 license plates. Both plates belonged to the mother of his child. Court records show they have had a dispute over child support and custody that started in May. Police say that Zahir was doing his surveillance searches between January and May. Chief Andre Bottoms says flock cameras have helped his officers in many different situations to crack down on crimes. But he also says the tool carries a great responsibility.
But the value of this technology does not excuse its misuse. In fact, the capabilities require strict oversight, consistent review, and accountability if someone abuses the access.
Shively began using Flock's audit assistance just 2 days ago. Flock says it will require all law enforcement agencies using their system to apply this audit assistance by the end of the year. Still, this case only raises new questions about the technology scanning roads in thousands of communities nationwide. Some say they're worried about just how safe they are and if the video recordings are being used in their intended manner. Wave News reporter Meredith Lee has been digging into how often this is happening, and in particular, Meredith, what it means for those not committing a crime, but they still end up on camera.
Yeah, this isn't just one officer being accused of breaking the rules. Investigators and privacy experts describe a pattern that's playing out in police departments across the country, and the people being tracked are overwhelmingly women.
Asad Zahir had a badge, a squad car, and investigators say an obsession. The Shively officer is accused of searching the flock camera database more than 2,048 times over 5 months, tracking the mother of his child across 2 states. Flock markets its license plate tracking system as accountable. The company advertises mandatory case codes, encrypted data, and audit tools built specifically to flag misuse before it spirals. But cybersecurity experts say cases like Zahir's expose how easily that promise breaks down. Eva Galperin is the director of cybersecurity at the Electronic Frontier Foundation and co-founded the Coalition Against Stalkerware. She says what happened in Shively has a name and happens inside agencies that hand employees this kind of access to surveillance.
Is so common that in the NSA they actually have a cute little word for it. They call it lovint. This kind of abuse is abuse that has been happening for as long as these kinds of powers have existed.
Lovint, or love intelligence, is a term originally coined for agents who turned government surveillance tools on people they were romantically interested in. Galperin says the same instinct shows up now in local police departments carrying license plate technology, and she says it goes by another name too.
Yes, that is absolutely tech-enabled abuse. As new tools become available and as it becomes easier to track people's locations, we start seeing this kind of abuse more and more often.
Cases mirroring the claims in Shively have surfaced in police departments in Georgia, Kansas, Wisconsin, Florida, and beyond. Officers accused of running hundreds, sometimes thousands of searches on wives, girlfriends, and exes, some logging the queries as routine investigations for months before anyone noticed. Meanwhile, Flock has rolled out changes this year, including a shorter default data retention window and a case code requirement the company says will be mandatory for all law enforcement customers by year's end. The company says those tools have already helped catch officers misusing the system. Galperin says that pattern reveals a flaw no software update can patch.
Flock is always saying, oh, we will just add more guardrails. You cannot add effective guardrails to a system that is entirely unaccountable and very easy to abuse. The problem is that you have given this kind of surveillance power to abusers.
Zahir is due in Jefferson District Court for arraignment Friday. The woman he's accused of tracking got a temporary protective order in Indiana months before his arrest. Wave News has reached out to Flock for comment on the Shively case and has not yet received a response. Meredith Lee, Wave News.